As I'm here to give a presentational speech on persuasion, and my topic is pretty much, is college education greater than the preference choice? So I got this from the volunteer center that I work at. I work at a volunteer center for high school seniors, particularly helping them decide what they want to do for their future or how they're going to achieve something new. So if they want to go to college or a trade school or a cosmetology school, or if they want to join the army, or if they just want to sit at home and do nothing, but you shouldn't do that. So anyway, so y'all will not be confused, I'm going to refer to my audience as more seniors and just get them hyped and pumped up. So if y'all feel hyped or pumped up, just be hyped or pumped up, but don't be confused. I know you're not seniors, but I'll refer to you as you are seniors because my volunteer center, they're seniors. So let's begin. Hello, graduating class of 2017. I know y'all are so excited. It's May 7th as of right now. I don't know what time it is, but you don't need to worry about what time it is. I know y'all are just worried about prom is coming up. It's prom season. It's amazing. What am I gonna wear? What am I gonna do? Who am I gonna go with? I know y'all also know y'all are getting your graduation gowns. So y'all are like, oh, graduation's coming up. What am I gonna wear? How many people am I gonna invite? Am I gonna have an after party? What's going down? Where am I gonna go? So before y'all get down to all that craziness, just stop and think. Now, you need to listen to me because what I'm about to tell you is very, very important. And without it, you may just be lost in life. No, you won't be lost in life, but you really need to listen to this. This is very important. So, as y'all know right now, my topic is to talk to you all on college choices. I know a lot of seniors, particularly my volunteering center, have been having a problem. They've been asking me, hey, do you think UT is a great college? Do you think TSU is a great college? Do you think Texas State's a great college? Because other people say that it's not a great college, so maybe I shouldn't go there, right? But then some other people respond to them that, hey, it's a great college, you should go there. Decisions. Y'all are having many thought processes on this. But remember, for college, it doesn't matter where you go to, but the education that you receive. Because yes, not every college gives you the same education, but you go to college for one thing, to receive an education. So as long as you're getting an education for the right price, I think it doesn't really matter where you're going to. So as stated by Eminem, lose yourself in the moment and you know that you want it, so you won't let it go. So I know y'all have heard that song on the radio a million times because I have. And I used to take that song for granted, but now that I think about it, that song pretty much, it's telling you that, hey, face your inhibitions, embrace your outsideness, embrace your environment, take a hold of whatever's outside and embrace it. Yes, there's different things out there that may not appeal to you, but it doesn't mean you have to turn those things down. Learn to embrace them, learn to accept them into your ideals. Don't let them overtake your ideals, but learn to incorporate them if you can. So just because you attend a college school like Harvard doesn't mean that you're better than someone who didn't. Yes, I know a lot of people who end up going to UT and they end up becoming major doctors and major pros in the medical field. But I also know people who went to Prairie View and Texas Southern for the same thing, and they're major pros in their medical fields too. It doesn't matter where you go. It matters the education that you receive and what you do with that education. So as I'll explain in the next few minutes, education is more viable than college preferences. I'll start by explaining why education is the most aspect in college choices. So first things first, education is key. Without college education, it's hard to achieve success. Education gives individuals a chance to achieve something greater than life. So yes, I know there's those select few who didn't really have an education, but they're doing well for themselves, like Steve Jobs, but he's already dead. There's the owner of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, true, but Mark Zuckerberg, he went to college for, I guess, a certain amount of time, but he still got an education. I'm not saying that if you don't get an education, you can't do great things in life and you can't achieve in life. But without an education, it makes things a lot harder, especially with getting jobs and other occupations. They require you to have an education at least. So, besides education being key, preferences are a low factor in college choices. More than 35% of students who graduate from colleges say that, oh, it really didn't matter where I went to. It pretty much mattered that I received the education, because at the very end, my job hired me for my degree and my experience, not for where I went to. Choosing the greatest college doesn't mean that you will be hardworking to achieve success in that college. So that's true. Particularly, there's a percentage of 67% of people who go to Harvard and all these Ivy League schools like Princeton and Baylor and UT. 67% of them don't really know what they're doing or what their job description entails. So when they're hired, a lot of things go wrong, and they ask them, weren't you taught this in your college for your major? And they'll respond saying, no, I was not taught this. And they'll ask them what school they went to, and they went to all these Ivy League schools. So if people from Ivy League schools are not getting great educations, what makes you think that schools that are people who see schools that in lower standards are getting great educations? I think education across the board, they're all the same. It depends on how you apply yourself and how you apply that education to your job. And you can't be sure if higher institutions give you better college information than lower institutions. More than 75% of people who started at HCCs or lower institutions before going to four-year colleges, they said they were better prepared for college as well as better prepared for their life and future, especially in managing things like managing checkbooks and managing their life and time preferences too. Since preferences don't matter, try looking at other factors. You work hard to get an education, of course. That's why you go to college, just to get an education. So if you don't work hard, then how are you going to get that education? That's going to get you that dream job later. That's why you go to college, not because, oh, this college looks great or this college does not look great. If you work hard, achieving something greater is highly impossible. So true, if you don't work hard, then it's true that achieving things will be harder, but it doesn't mean that you can't. But everyone goes and gets an education because they want an easier route to achieving something, their dream job. Let's say they want to be a lawyer. You have to go to college to get into law school, don't you? And then you have to go into law school before you can become a lawyer. But if you have none of these educational backgrounds, it's going to be very hard for you to become a lawyer. As you can see, education has a lot of other factors. It just takes the time that you look at those factors. A college education is most important factor in colleges, not the location. Yes, I graduated from Harvard. I graduated from MIT. But does that truly mean that my educational standards are better than someone who graduated from A&M or someone who graduated from a historically black college? No, it just means that my college probably has better facilities on educational purposes. But that doesn't mean that we're not learning the same educational preferences. That doesn't mean that we can't both still fight for the same job that requires educational preferences again. So education is the greatest source of knowledge, and you can learn from anyone and anything. It depends on how you use that education and what you do with it. I want to tell you something, particularly my students at my volunteer center. I know y'all are having this debate, and for the longest, y'all were saying, no, it matters where you go to. At the very end, it's not like you can get a job. All these people who are hiring, they're like, oh, you went to UT? That's a great school. I'm going to hire you just because you went to UT. I want to let you guys know this, that at the very end, they hire you not because of where you went to, but because of the education and experience that you have as a person. They look at all other factors. They could even hire you just because you both have the same favorite sport team that you like, or you both like the same genre in music. They're not going to hire you just because of your college preferences. Think about that when you're choosing your education or your future goals. Remember, college is for education. It's not for the location. Thank you.